Want to make your own raisins or garlic powder? It is amazingly easy. I'm Marcy McDonald from Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today, remote homestead Accomplice, Shonna Zimmermann, will demonstrate how to use a dehydrator to make raisins, garlic powder, and tasty tomato treats.
Hi, I'm Shonna Zimmermann, and today I'd like to talk to you about one of the oldest methods for preserving food, which is drying it, or dehydration. Originally, drying food was done with the power of the sun. You may have heard of sun-dried tomatoes. It's a very simple technique that doesn't involve any specialized equipment, just laying your fruits and vegetables and the bounty of your harvest out in the sun and letting the solar power do its work. For more modern techniques, you can use your oven. Putting your oven on a low temperature for a long time and letting your food dry out slowly is a very simple and easy method that anyone with an oven in their kitchen can use. However, my favorite is a particular appliance that has served me very well since before I went to college. This is a dehydrator. Very simple and easy to use. So let's start with the dehydrated food that everyone is familiar with, raisins. Well, what do raisins start with? They start with grapes. I just had to pull in the last of my grape harvest for the year because I had about a 3-hour warning that frost was going to hit. Too many grapes for me to eat, so I'm going to dehydrate them into raisins. Very simple process. You take your dehydrator tray, you pick your grapes off of the stem. Very important, you do not want to get grape stem caught in your teeth when you're eating your raisin bran. Spread them out on your tray. When your harvest is spread out over all the trays in the dehydrator, you're just going to stack them in the dehydrator according to the manufacturer's instructions. And in about 10 to 12 hours later, you have raisins. After about 10 hours of letting the dehydrator do its thing, I recommend checking your raisins every half hour to make sure that you have a nice, plump, juicy, but dried fruit product. Very good. They can over dry. And at that point, you no longer have raisins, you have ball bearings. But as I've always said, I didn't make a mistake. I meant to do that. I'm going to take these slightly over-dried raisins, grind them up with a little butter and some seasonings, and put them in a Persian pastry called colompe, which normally uses date paste, but let's experiment and see how this goes. So the next things we're going to dehydrate are some cherry tomatoes and some garlic. Cherry tomatoes are great for dehydrating. They make a lovely snack if you use these really sweet ones. They're really good sprinkled on salads or make a great dehydrated soup base. I don't actually know what kind of tomatoes these are because they grew in my garden without me planting them. But let's take advantage of the fact that they're there. So for dehydrating tomatoes, you're going to want to slice them in half and then put them on the rack face up, because as they dry, a lot of liquid will be coming out of them. You want the skins to cup up as much as it can, but because these are very juicy, if you can, line the bottom of your dehydrator with tin foil or something that's going to catch all the drips just to make your cleanup easier. If you're making snacks out of these, before you dehydrate them, you could toss them with a little salt and pepper, oregano, garlic, and make a nice seasoned, kind of like a fruit leather snack. Put them on the rack so that they're close so you're using space efficiently, but don't have them touching. And that is the importance of having a sharp knife. Now we're going to slice up some garlic. I have elephant garlic that grows in my yard, one of 3 types of garlic. This is amazing for slicing because the cloves are so large, but anything will work. You just want to make sure that your slices are fairly even in thickness so they dry at about the same rate. Again, spread them out on your rack so they are using the space efficiently, but not touching. You want the air to be able to circulate through as the dryer is doing its work. You know what they say about lemon juice in a paper cut? Garlic juice does the same thing. Oh, that's disgusting. Ah. Now that our rack is ready to go, we're going to load it in the dehydrator and let the appliance do its job for about 12 hours, I think. Overnight is great. You're going to wake up to a very amazingly lovely smell in your house. My dehydrator just has 2 settings, on and off. Some are a little more advanced with high and low settings. So do refer to the instruction manual to make sure that you've got the right setting for the right type of food that you're drying. But for me, we just turn it on and let it do its job. Here we go. Okay. I let this run for overnight, a little more than 12 hours. Should be ready. Let's take a look. Oh, that's lovely. We've got some nice leathery tomatoes. So good. And some nice crispy garlic, which is perfect for making garlic powder. All right, so we're gonna take this crispy dried garlic and make garlic powder. Super simple if you have a small blender that has a grinding blade. That's different than a blending blade. The blending blade has 4 blades, some of which stick up and stir. A grinding blade is more flat and it's going to grind our dried products into powder. Just gonna put about 1/3 full of dried garlic. All right, grinding blade. And you're going to have to shake this a little bit to keep the large pieces agitated as it goes. But this shouldn't take too long at all. Here we go. There will still be some larger chunks in here. So at this point, we're going to sift those out. The nice little strainer. Shake it into a bowl. And there we have fine, beautiful, fresh, potent garlic powder. And in the strainer, we have the large chunks that we just put back in for the next round.
And there you have it. Dehydrators vary in price but are quite affordable and often available secondhand. Or you can use your oven to dry food. My mother used to make applesauce fruit leather in hers when I was a kid. Hope you will have fun experimenting and exploring this time-honored way of preserving food. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.